Welcome back to Imagination Station Network, and today we are joined by another amazing creative guest. But before we start, how are you feeling today?
I'm very well. My name is Paddy, and I believe I'm here to talk to you about tabletop role-playing games and world building for both tabletop role-playing games and game design and fiction writing.
Yes, I'm excited. This chose me as he came in. This is the second time I've had it in my hands, and I'm like, I'm probably about the same size as Lord of the Rings, aren't I?
Yeah, well, that's my partner's actually.
Right.
I got it for her because her favourite character in
What's your partner's name?
Alicia. Alicia is my partner.
This is epic, man.
This is a replica of Gimli's walking axe. Because she loves Gimli. She loves the dwarves. She loves their no nonsense attitude.
Right, I went. It's funny you say that. I went to cinema to see every single one of them.
Yeah.
But every time I see something for Lord of the Rings, I can. We shall not pass, Frodo. But aye, that's epic. Sorry, I was digressing.
No, you're great.
We'll get back to that. But aye, thanks very much for coming in and giving us your time. As soon as I started to talk to you, you had this. You know yourself when you talk to people and creatives and you click with that one thing, and I'm like, I went away and I was like, I didn't stop talking to them. I was like, Jan, we need to move whoever's in, and if the person's watching this that we moved, this is why we moved you, man. Listen,
I apologise.
Cool stuff that just and we've got a follower, Debbie, and she's a massive fan of all this stuff, and I messaged her as well. She's like, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm not taking up too much. It's not my podcast, but I'm excited when people bring all this stuff. I'm like, he carried in about 12 bags. I'm like, is he moving in, Jan?
Yeah. Yeah, that's because I'm sort of the DM of my friend group. I tend to run the games.
Right.
I have lots and lots of books for lots of different systems, and I am also a dice goblin.
Right.
I like the shiny math rocks. You can buy a big bag of them. Like it's called the pound of dice, and it's like a pound in weight.
Where'd you get them?
Amazon. You can get them. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them in Forbidden Planet, Traveler Man. You can just buy them online. You can get really expensive, nice ones that are made out of real meteorite.
Oh wow!
And like a D20, like one of these little things. It's not too big. 20-sided dice made out of real meteorite will set you back a pretty penny, like 50, 60 quid. Just
reminds me of trauma when the kids in the schoolyard stealing my marbles when I was a kid.
Basically, you have your favourite marble, and it's like, this is my dice, this is my favourite dice. All of my favourite dice are in this little handy-dandy dice carrier.
I am absolutely like Gollum. I'm like, see if I give you a pen or anything, I'm like, when's it coming back? So no.
Yeah.
Let's go back, because obviously the idea of this is to inspire. This will inspire people, man. But where did all this start for you? Everybody's got a start. But if you think it like a film, what was the beginning part?
Do you mean for me or for
just
the
in
hobby?
General, man? Just
right. So for me, I've always liked escapism. I've always liked these fantasy worlds, these bigger than life things, whether it was Power Rangers or Pokemon or all these different things. It's escapism because, frankly, a lot of things in the world, and they always have been. It seems like a really big problem now, but back in the 90s, we had different problems that everybody was worried about.
You're right.
And then, when you're a kid and, say your parents argue a bunch, then you escape into a world where you don't have to deal with that. You don't have to be the peacemaker or be the one that's trying to, buoy everybody up. You escape into your world. So it's fantasy novels, it's books, it's stories.
Brilliant.
And then video games are an extension of that. And then for me, it was, we all want to play these games, and we know Dungeons and Dragons is a thing, and we all have disposable time and disposable income.
adult money.
Let's just buy all the books.
It's when it's adult money now. You're like,
Yeah,
like I'm holding this as
you know,
if it's a newborn baby,
you get like your first big paycheck from a proper job, and you buy a big TV and a games console.
Yeah,
and then
you're right.
then the next few ones you're buying games for that console and stuff, and then you go, actually, I remember those books I really like from a few years ago. I'm going to buy some really nice copies of them.
Yeah. What was the one you gave me? What was the one you gave me to read?
Oh, so I gave you a comic version of Pathfinder. So Dungeons and Dragons, and some people use that as shorthand for every tabletop role-playing game, but Dungeons and Dragons is a very specific game, basically set in medieval fantasy land with dragons, magic, swords, all that stuff. Pathfinder, my preferred system, came out of Dungeons and Dragons 3rd edition. When they were making 4th edition, the rules were changing, and the people who wanted to make Pathfinder left Dungeons and Dragons, started their own company, and made what I believe to be a superior game to 4th and 5th edition.
Big words.
It's a matter of taste, but
I'm only on the first one. So.
You've got sci-fi games like Shadowrun or Cyberpunk. You've got horror games like Call of Cthulhu. There's games set in alternate histories like Twilight 2000, which is the Third World War that never was.
What's that? Is that like a 5-player game kind of thing? And I'll just
it's a tabletop game. You can have like anywhere from one DM and one player to as many players as you want. Rule of thumb: if you're DMing for the first time, no more than 4 or 5 players and the DM. Once you're more experienced, you can maybe...
Why is that? Is that
because if everybody's learning the game together, it's going to take time, and every turn takes time to do. And if everybody's going, oh, hold on, where's that on the sheet? And it bogs down the game, and then you have a 3-hour combat, which in world takes about 2 minutes. And it just takes so long, and everybody's waiting for their turn. So you can be waiting for 20, 25 minutes to take your turn.
Oh, I know. I'm agreeing. I've been like, I don't play. I like sitting on the side, because I write books, and I like to hear people. Guys, when you watch it, I like to watch the arguments. If I'm being honest, not so much arguments, more about explanation of how their player is getting to that, and that's the bit for me. So there's a couple of different schools of thought. There's role-playing, ROLL, like rolling the dice and playing the game. And then there is role-playing, ROLE, playing. You are playing a role the same as a role in a TV show or whatever. It's a lot more performative. People watch things like Critical Role is the big one, is the famous one. Matt Mercer, Marisha, Travis, Taliesin, all those guys, they're all voice actors. They are professional actors. Nobody's home table is going to be like that. Right.
They are funded. They have money to build sets and do all these things. Nobody's home game is going to be like that.
Maybe one day.
We should aspire to try and emulate a lot of their practices.
Yeah.
But not everybody is a voice actor. Not everybody is comfortable acting that way. Not everybody's comfortable being on stage. The essence of role-playing is making the decision that your character would make. Even if you say, Grognar tries to check the door and he looks confused when it won't open outwards. Like, just making those decisions and describing what the character feels or thinks is role-playing. You can do a voice. You don't have to do a voice. Nobody should feel uncomfortable. But you often find that when people become more comfortable with their character, once they know who the character is, they begin to sort of start to talk in the first person. Like, I go and check for traps.
Right. Take the role.
And they sort of, you start to get people sort of miming what they're doing or things like that. And it evolves.
I've seen some crazy great costumes. Just starting one, mate, the next minute somebody's in with the whole...
Oh yeah,
the whole like Legion of Doom converted into like Dungeons and Dragons. That's what I've seen.
Yeah. I mean, when I DM my Star Wars 5th edition game, I wear my Jedi robes because I want an excuse to dress up. All right. I wear my Jedi robes, and I'm just.
I like dressing up.
And it's good fun. And it adds a little bit of gravitas sometimes.
I wish I'd known. I've got a whole black robe that I don't, because we don't prepare these and we don't script them. But so, like, you've got these are these die cast or plastic?
So some of these things are die cast. So they used to be lead minis, like back in the like Warhammer days and stuff. They used to be lead minis. Now they're not lead. They're usually pewter. And then this one is custom made 3D printed. So I went on a website and selected all the bits and posed the character and stuff.
Cool.
Printed it, got it, painted it. Things
what kind
like
of size
this.
of brushes are you using on that wee bad boy?
Very small. Very small. I mean, for like the big panels, like the cloak, bigger brush. For small detail work,
that's
very
cool.
small brush.
Very cool, man.
But you can just get little grey plastic resin minis that are very high detailed. You probably won't see it from this far away, but we'll try and get some shots
in.
Yeah. And then you get them unpainted. Basically, they're just grey. You just prime them with a spray can, and then you print them however you want. You don't have to use minis.
Right.
You can get things like these tokens, little cardboard tokens, printed on both sides, so front and back. You just stick them in a little base.
Cool, man.
And there you go. And then you also get these things. These are the new fad, really, called skinny minis. They are just acrylic, like a little flat acrylic thing, printed front and back view.
Oh, aye.
And you just pop them in a
2D
little
style.
base. Yep, very 2D, but I mean, the ones I've got are from a pirate game.
Right.
But you can get them for any genre. You can
Cool,
get them like, some guy with a huge cannon mounted on his arm and like a sort of hoverboard and all this sort of stuff for sci-fi stuff.
Love it.
It's great
Love
fun.
it, man. Thing is, though, you can go anywhere with this. Like,
Yeah.
When I've seen people play and when I've chatted about it, and it's not just that. The thing is that attracts me to it, and I've not played, is that it's a board, even though 2-dimensional. You can go like in out in the world. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah. So we're talking about the whole genre is tabletop role-playing games. But now with the internet, you don't even need an actual tabletop. You don't need to be in the same country. The board is largely just a square grid, like this one here. It is just a dry wipe, dry erase board with 1-inch squares is the standard. So you do that, and each square represents 5 feet.
Right.
Well, in D&D and Pathfinder, each square is 5 feet. And that's it. You just draw on it with dry erase markers, and then you wipe it off when you're done, draw the next map.
Cool, man.
These are usually double-sided, so you can have different themes. But you also get ones that are pre-printed for specific adventures or for specific themes, like woodland escapades.
The game, I don't know if you're as old as me, but do you remember where the guy that used to wear the helmet, and the kids would have to tell him where to go? Night something? No.
Oh, you're talking about the guy with Raven, like with the Scott. Get behind your totem.
Aye.
Oh boy, what's
was it the guy with a black beard?
Yeah, he had a black beard and black hair and a
That's
sort of raven cloak.
That's going to bug me.
What was it called?
It was like Pathfinder or something.
It's similar, yeah. But like you can see on here, it's got rooms and everything already predefined, drawn on, everything else.
Excellent.
And if you turn it over, it's a dungeon with a cave. So those
good quality.
Those are good.
Thick. They're nice and thick. Them.
They're good. The blank ones you get much more value out of because you can put whatever you want on them. You can buy one of those for about $10.
Right. What's that? Like, if you were to put a price, I know you shouldn't put price on stuff, but if you put a price on it to start it up for somebody.
Okay.
So let's strip it back.
Okay. So if you're a player, like you've got a group of friends, and one of the guys is going, "I've bought the rule books. You 4 guys are going to be players. You need a paper pad, a pencil, preferably a set of dice, but you can buy a big set of dice all together and just share them. And as a player, you probably want something like this, the Player's Handbook for Dungeons & Dragons. There are various editions.
Mm-hmm.
Pathfinder has all of the character creation stuff in the main rulebook.
Right.
Usually. So you just want that. That has all the types of characters you could play, like playing an elf or playing a dwarf, and it gives you all those things, and it gives you all the classes, like playing a fighter. These are the things you're good at, and these are the things you get bonuses to, and
I'd be a warlock.
Stuff like that. An Eldritch Pact with.
What's that?
So a warlock gets their power, at least in most fantasy systems. You make a pact with some otherworldly entity, and they gift you magic for doing their bidding.
I will take the magic. Thank you very much.
This has all of your spells, all the rules for casting your spells. They're all in alphabetical order, though, so you need to know which spells you are able to have, which is in a different section of the book, which is really annoying. There's also things like just buying stuff, like buying clothes and buying a horse and buying different things, and also some animal companions.
Cool.
You can have falcons and hawks and panthers and crazy things.
My favourite thing, what I've just completed, is the Mighty Nine.
Yes.
And that's my thing. Like, I love that. I like that form. I think I kind of you told me that it's a derivative of like Dungeons and Dragons. And
so the Mighty Nine and Vox Machina are brought to you by the guys who run Critical Role. Matthew Mercer, Marisha, Travis, all those guys. They started off they actually started their home game playing Pathfinder.
Right.
Then when they went on to stream, they decided to move to Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, which is why Pike's god was originally Serenray.
Right.
But they weren't allowed to use Serenray because it's Dungeons & Dragons. So they had to call her something else. They called her the Everlight. And it's still basically Serenray. And they basically just use Dungeons & Dragons. So they are playing Dungeons & Dragons, and they just took their stories and turned it into a cartoon.
It's like when you're saying that as well, you know, the Stranger Things is really catapult. I see kids playing, like when I'm out having something to eat, doing a food review.
Yeah.
Kids in the background, and I'm like, good for them, you know, like you've just explained at the very beginning. It's you creating a world that they can go in. And that's, you know, when you explained that, that's a fantastic way of explaining it. People have stuff going on.
Yeah.
And you don't, you can lose yourself really well.
There's that bit of it. I mean, some people just play it because they like swinging a sword and killing monsters. They like to be the hero.
I don't know about the hero, mind.
You know, I mean, you can play a villain. You can play an evil campaign.
Right.
You can be like, we're going to gain power and dominate the world. But that's going to be a very different feel and tone to, you know, you've been thrust into adventure and you end up saving the town, saving the world, saving all of existence.
You end up being a good guy.
You know, but you can play evil characters that go with a good party. Dragonlance, set of novels, sort of.
Did you say
D&D?
Did you say do it online?
You can do it online, yeah. So yeah, we're doing different things. So you've got the tabletop game, you've got the books and stuff. You can also play essentially for free online. You need there's different programs. There's Fantasy Grounds or Roll20 or whatever. Preferably a webcam, but at least a microphone.
Yeah.
And that's it. The character sheet is on that program. The maps are on that program. The DM and you guys are all in a voice call, and you just play D&D.
Yeah, I think the way the world is, man, it's a great thing to be able to just click on.
Yeah.
And then just I can see, like, for me at school, I didn't fit in anywhere.
Yeah.
I seen the kids playing this.
Yeah.
I seen the bullies. I seen all that. I didn't fit in anywhere.
Yeah.
But see, now that I'm an adult and I'm talking to you, I'm in my mind, I'm like, you know, why the hell am I no play? Why the hell have I no joined in with this? You know, this is like, I like dressing up.
Yeah.
I like writing stuff that doesn't exist and bringing it into existence.
Yeah.
I can take it when my character may possibly get taken away and And do you know what I mean?
There's
Roleplay is
there's the possibility of character deaths.
Oh no, I didn't mean that. I thought coming back.
Right. I mean, there used to be the stigma of nerd culture. You don't want to be a geek. You don't want to stick out. You don't want to, etc., etc. But it's become much more accessible because of pop culture and nerd culture. Marvel blew up nerd culture, and all of a sudden it was kind of a bit cool, or at least acceptable to be into superheroes and comic books and everything else. Then then the internet happened. Then Critical Role and Stranger Things happened. And all of a sudden, it's super fun. You can see people having fun at the game instead of being like 6 people all like sitting in a basement, in a dingy basement, all like...
I know, they did light that up a bit,
doing things like that. And then they go, you know, it's 6 or 7 friends around a table having fun, taking the mick out of each other, you know, and having really cool, fun interactions and moments. And
I like it that you can take it into adulthood, man. That's the bit for me that I've seen. That
totally.
And you can spend a lot of money. Like we were talking about Chris, who had the shop in Berwick.
Yeah.
I go in and he had the whole big board set and the.
So that's Warhammer. So that's more of a war game where you have hundreds of miniatures, and you're moving them all in units,
like
and more like battleships. Yeah, absolutely. So that's more of a war game. But D&D sprung out of wargaming. Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson, back in the 1970s, they took a war game that Gary Gygax had written called Chainmail, which was moving units of spearmen and archers and all that sort of stuff, moving them around like that. They took a game called Outdoor Survival by Avalon Hills, which was a hex crawler. So each movement on a hexagon grid was 1 day's worth of travel or so. And a few other games, and they sort of put it in a blend and mixed it up and going, well, instead of playing an army, what if you played one dude or one girl or one wizard? And you're doing that, and you just, instead of doing these big, huge battles, you're doing each individual confrontation between 2 characters.
So they're gone away and doing their own wee
story. So it's zooming in onto the thing.
Cool, man. I think when it's there, like now I see why you brought everything. Because for me going in, like I watch, like I say, I'm a sideliner because I quite like watching it.
Yeah.
But to see all the stuff and know how they actually work is it looks complicated, but it's no complicated, if you know what I mean.
As soon as you have any grasp of it, it's not as complicated as it looks. The easiest way to turn someone off of a tabletop RPG is to show them the character sheet.
Right.
And it looks bonkers when you don't know what anything is.
Do you know what it reminds me of, Paddy? It reminds me of, I mean, I'm older than you, I think, the ZX Spectrum 48K books that you used to get, man. That was my first computer.
Yep.
And that was what it reminded me when you opened that. Like
so
the instruction manuals.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. So you show them an empty character sheet and you're going, we're going to sit down for 20 minutes, half an hour, and we're going to make your character. And they go, what, it takes 20 minutes to make a character? And you're going, well, it'll take you longer because you've never done it before.
Yeah.
But as soon as you know how to do it, it takes 10 minutes. And nowadays we have apps on phones and you just go, I want to play a rogue. Like, you know, you randomly roll a thing, it randomly rolls your stats, and you select your army, you select your weapons and stuff, and then you just go print, and it just goes, boom, here's your sheet. There you go. Done. It's super easy and super customizable and modular, and you can just go, you get all the drop-down menus and stuff, and you just go.
And if there's anybody watching this, man, I want to hear your character names in the comments. I quite like. That's what I like. Nothing else, just the character name, and let me guess what it is that you are.
So the one I keep coming back to, and a name that I reuse often is Arcturus Farspark.
Right.
Arcturus Farspark, the Dragonborn wizard, is my signature character, if you like. I love that guy. But yeah, so you're sitting down with your DM. The DM has the monster manual.
Who's DM?
The DM, the dungeon master.
Right.
Sometimes called a game master, sometimes called the director or the referee. different systems have different
DM.
names, different trademarks on names. The DM will have a monster manual, which has all of the monsters. So we'll find a particularly cool picture for you. There you go. And it has, so we have a gibbering mouther, which is a shambling flesh mound full of eyes and teeth and nothing else. And it has all the stats, all the attacks, all the things it can do.
That's class.
And it has like a description of where you might find it, the kind of creature it is. It's an abomination. It's a, it's a neutral alignment, all that stuff. So the DM will have one of those, and probably the Dungeon Master's Guide, which is basically the rulebook.
Right.
And it goes, each square is 5 feet.
The rule book when they brung it out in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Aye, the rule book.
It's just a big book. Like I said, Pathfinder has those 2 books all in that one. And it's about the same depth. I brought props. So these are spell cards.
Right.
Say you're playing a cleric. We have the cleric spell cards, and you have first level spells. So
let me read one out.
You have one of them, and then go ahead.
So animal friendship. So casting time 1 action. What does that mean?
So in Dungeons and Dragons, you have a turn, and within your turn you have movement action, a main action, and a bonus action.
Right.
Sometimes you also have things called free actions, like if you're moving to a door, you can also interact with the door.
Right. So it says duration 24 hours.
Yep. It lasts for 24 hours.
24
Once
hours.
you cast
Right,
it,
cool.
It lasts for 24 hours.
Right. So material or the morsel of food. This spell lets you convince a beast that you mean it no harm. Choose the beast you can see within range, and it must be able to see and hear you. If the beast is intelligent, is 4 or higher, the spell fails. Otherwise, the beast must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed for you for the spell's duration. And if you or one of your companions harms the target, the spell ends.
Yep.
It actually reminds me a wee bit of Avatar.
Yeah. So it's just a magical way of convincing an animal. So there's blank spell cards, so you can write your own spells. You can make your own spells.
Fairy fire.
Yep. Fairy fire. Basically, if there's invisible things, you cast fairy fire, and imagine throwing sort of like magical dust in the air, and then it settles on the invisible thing, and you can see their outline.
That's epic, man.
You can see invisible things.
I'm big on fairy stuff. Like,
yeah, it's cool. But spell cards, it's really hard to go through that book and have all of your spells all in the one thing because they're in alphabetical order.
Right.
Spell cards. Buy a pack of spell cards. If you like playing clerics, and you often play clerics, invest 15 quid in a set of spell cards.
Is that much as? Did I hear you say talk about Pokemon?
Yep. I love Pokemon.
See my hat I made?
Yes, I love it. I love the fact that it's
my
done
version.
Very almost cell shaded.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I love that.
I decided to make my own version. I like you say when you said there when the world wasn't a great time for me growing up, man. But
yeah.
I could lose myself in cartoons, and that was one of them. Pokemon,
yeah.
man. I can't explain it.
Pokemon, the games like the red, blue, and yellow game cartridges. I've been playing since '98. I've been playing since it came to the West, and I've got stacks of old Pokemon cards and stuff.
What'd you play it on?
The Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Pocket Color. Wow. So I had the lime green one.
Excellent.
And I've still got it.
I remember them, man, like yesterday.
Yeah, there was the green, the purple, the red, the blue.
Did you have the magnifying glass?
Yeah, so I had a big purple Game Boy shaped box that had a bunch of attachments in it. So it had a battery pack, a rechargeable battery pack that went in the back of the Game Boy, and the clip-on magnifying screen with the light.
That's epic, man.
The link cable.
These are things that the world has forgotten, man. We started somewhere.
You have to have a link cable to connect to your Game Boys.
I've got a wee gift for you.
You mean it doesn't have Wi-Fi?
Got a wee gift for you here. So we've got a wee wand made for you.
Yeah.
And I figured that you being you, I got a straight wand made. So this was made by Sean from Out of the Woods. Oh. And that's your wand, aye. So that's made for the wood for Spittle Beach.
Oh, that is lovely and beautiful.
And that is.
We'll probably get a close-up shot of that. Like at the end. But that's lovely. Well, because like my main character is a wizard, this is very apt. I love this.
Cool,
this is beautiful.
I keep getting a couple, and I can't part with them. See, when you choose that bit of wood that just fits.
I almost want like just like a
holster?
really thin leather holster, just like to
goes with your jumper as well,
and just a little,
cool,
or
man.
like a really deep
go with your
inside pocket that you can just stow it. That would be that's beautiful. Thank you very much.
So obviously we've got all these weapons in here, and I'm a weapon guy, right? So I'm thinking that we maybe just see if we can conduct a wee spell with this one, and then we're going to do a wee bit in between. So we're going to go outside now, and Paddy's got to show us his moves. So you ready?
Oh dear.
You ready?
Sure.
Boom. Right, guys. So here we are. Paddy's going to show us all about his moves, man.
So I'm still very much a beginner, but for example in HEMA, you usually learn from a manuscript, which are basically manuals from the time, so 1500s, and the one we were using was a German one. So we were learning German longsword techniques. So as an example, you have your longsword, traditionally a two-handed, sometimes one-handed weapon, but mostly two-handed. And as a beginner thing, you have 5 main guards. You have what's called Fool's Guard. You have the plow to the right and the left. And you have Bull's Guard, which is the bull's horns, up to the right and the left. And then you can also use High Guard. High Guard is considered offensive, and the point of the sword should always be matching your opponent. It should always be pointed at your opponent and pointed at their torso and face. The object of the opponent is to move your point off center while putting their point onto your center. If you're in danger and they aren't, they win. Yeah. But you have bits from here, and then you can whirlwind cut. And all I'm doing is moving my foot backwards while turning the blade around above my head. You don't want to swing it into your head, which is common. And if you hold this too close and block something, you're going to take yourself out with the guard. And that's...
And now for the Star Wars edition.
So, lightsabers. Lightsabers are just swords with no edges. And these ones are obviously plastic, but they are a lot of fun with a one-handed or one-bladed lightsaber, I should say. You hold it much the same as a longsword or a katana, and everything is it's about sweeping motions and fluid without letting this touch yourself. And one of the most famous moves is from the Revenge of the Sith movie, the Obi-Annie spin. It's quite simple. You hold the blade, hold it out, let it drop behind, and as it's dropping behind, instead of dropping behind your arm, let it drop in front of your arm. Crook the elbow, and it comes up. Turn the elbow, bring it in front and around. So then you let it loop behind, loop in front, around, and it'll go on. And that is quite a simple defensive velocity.
Hey guys, that was epic. Cheers, Paddy. Let's get back into the podcast. Let's go. I'll let you go first. Here we're back. So I'm a wee bit out of breath, so we'll take a wee minute here. Paddy's at there busting shape. So back to the weapons, Paddy. How as an actor, and I like weapons, and I've got my own weapon here that Sean also made me. So I got into martial arts because my gran used to have a shillelagh behind the door, and I got that one made from Spittle Beach again. Again, it's a bit smooth to be using as a weapon, but it's got all the feel there.
It's very nice, and it's cool, like a charred wood finish, which is lovely.
Sean made that. Sean out of the woods.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
On social media, Facebook.
I mean, it's grand. It's not so smooth. I'd be afraid of
coming out the hand,
of dropping it for no reason. But if someone was to grip it and pull it,
we are gonna put wee nibbles in it eventually, because I do plan on doing a wee bit of.
I mean, just a light lathing to put a few rings in it might be.
It's a wee bit too long, but I wanted it as long as my hand. Shillelaghs generally are there, and do you know the story about why the shillelaghs exist? Well, not why they exist. They used with blackthorn.
Yes.
When the Vikings came over to Ireland, they would marry the farmers' daughters, and in return they would teach them, but they didn't use swords; they used shillelaghs.
Yeah.
For the blackthorn, and that's why. And they revived that martial arts. Believe it or not, that's coming back.
Yeah, that's
why. That's
everything goes in and out of fashion in cycles.
People thinking I'm going to war,
and things like that. And I mean, training weapons have always been a thing throughout history, and you see it in children. You pick up a stick, you pick up two sticks. All of a sudden, two kids in the woods on a woodland walk with two sticks. That's two swords, and you're having a duel to the death, like a very PG-13.
We had the same. We had the same upbringing, Paddy. I stayed like there was trees and fields.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time by myself, but it was doing the things that you've explained. And then I would go home to my ZX Spectrum 48K and I would be like waiting 10 days for it to load. I'd be happy in that moment.
Oh, yeah. So training weapons have always been the thing. And this is the modern day training weapon. So this is just a standard longsword. It's about the right weight, although the balance is a little bit far forward because the blade is thicker. It's just made of nylon. It's just nylon. It's a bit bendy, but it's about the right length, and it's about the right weight.
Cool, man.
And these things are usually all modular. You can replace the grip, you can replace the guard, you can replace the hilt.
How much do one of these cost? Paddy actually stopped me in the car park one day, and I said, I was telling you about my shillelagh getting ready, and he's like, oh, come out. I don't think I've ever seen a guy tell me, come out to the car park.
Come out to the car, and I just opened the boot because I've done a few lessons of HEMA, which is historical European martial arts. So long swords, like staff fighting,
long staff,
German Messer.
Wow. You ever done the mace?
Not a one-handed mace. We have done some polearm work, so like a true polearm with like an axe head and a hammer head on one end of it, sort of about maybe 7 or 8 feet long total. So things like that. And then for contact sports, you have LARP weapons.
So is that like a Roman sword?
So it's vaguely modelled on sort of a Celtic Viking inspired thing. It's not
a mishmash.
It's not a true representation of anything, but it's a solid one-handed sword with a bit of a pommel and quite a small guard. Very much like almost like the sort of Rohirrim style stuff, like Theoden's sword Hurugrim, with a leaf-bladed shape.
Cool.
But super bendy. Look, Ma, still have hands. It's super squishy. It's just made of latex.
It's a good way of getting kids into
and
swords.
If I walloped you in the back of the head with this, you would feel it.
You would still feel it.
You would feel it, but
I've no hair either, so I would really feel it.
It's not going to hurt you really.
No.
You can swing this pretty darn hard and not hurt each other.
I meant to tell you this. So Ian, our head artist, Ian, he done sword fighting at school with the lead for Iron Maiden.
Yes.
I think it's the lead or it's the guitarist, they said. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And he apparently annihilated Ian because he's really good at the fighting. Is that what this one is then? Is that like a training katana or something?
So that is a training katana. Again, it's basically just
I put that
vinyl nylon. It's basically just vinyl nylon. It's about the right weight and about the right length. Obviously, the blades are really thick because it's plastic.
Yeah, it's a good feeling to hands.
But it's good. It's good for getting your weight, your balance, having a swing around, getting a feel for the technique.
Cool, man.
But those ones are quite hard, and if I swung that at you, you could break an arm. So
it's got a nice feel to it, though.
Temper your enthusiasm with a bit of care for each other. But you can absolutely use them for full contact sparring. I absolutely recommend the
I've got no birthdays or anything coming up, but I'm absolutely about to invest in. I'm investing in something that I've showed you my sword down the stairs. That's the one that my friend Sandra gave me, and that's out the film Outlawking, and the axe as well. Big up, Sandra. Thank you very much.
Because my workplace was the green room while they were filming in Berwick when they were filming the stuff on the quayside and on the bridge. They used the old bridge in Berwick as London Bridge.
Sorry, mate.
So that is my custom saber from Saber Forge in the US.
A message from the dark side there was.
Yes. But yeah. So if you hold the button without moving it, it turns off. There we go. With a sort of teal-ish coloured blade.
Matches me, man. I was happy with that.
Yeah, this is one of my pride and joys. I love this. I've got a slightly longer blade, but it's just easier to carry.
Professional
one
to use for fighting with as well, like reenactment.
Full contact stuff.
Much as one of them, if you can tell us the damage.
So this one, bear in mind it was customed and it has the sound and the light in it. Was 320 or so.
Jeez, man. I take that back. I'm not investing in it.
Plus £60 import tax.
Wow, man. See, when you have adult money, man, this is dangerous.
However, this much simpler one, well, these two, I bought them as a pair from LG Toy.
Right.
Both of these cost me £45 to £50.
Oh, cool.
On
fightable.
I want to say,
but not.
Yes, but the blades are slightly thinner than the other one, so they will not withstand quite as much pure punishment.
Phantom of the Menace stuff with that.
Oh, absolutely. Aye. But you can unscrew this one.
Double.
And they work in tandem, but I haven't charged the battery. So rather than faff around, trying to put it back together, we'll just put it down.
That's cool, man. But like I say, when like this is all. Like, obviously, I've went down the memory lane there in my brain with stuff that. Forgetting that, there's nothing wrong with being a kid as an adult.
Yeah.
It's not just about the money and what it costs. Like
it's a great form of exercise. And it's fun. Like I can't stand going to the gym, running on a treadmill, just counting, lifting weights. Like to me, that is just boredom central.
You just you don't when I go down the beach and practice, I've got a long staff.
Yeah.
I've got 2 long staffs in the house and I've got one made for me. For the Highlands, for my pal Sean, if you're watching this. Down the beach. And see, because I've not been for the last 8 months, I'm feeling it. Like you heard me.
Yeah, you go. Oh, you forget that I've given it a bit of bits here. And, muscle groups you just haven't used,
and that's it. So,
but it's the same. Like any martial arts is good for discipline. I find it good for the mind.
Yeah, it's
good for the body.
It's all about flow, man. And once you connect to that,
and it's fun, and especially with combat sports like any martial arts like karate, taekwondo, or anything like that. Or HEMA, there's a little bit of competitiveness. I really love the lightsaber stuff because it goes into that theatrical bit of like stage fighting. Like you choreograph a fight and you make it look really quick and slick, but you actually already know what the other person's doing. It's dancing. Combat is dancing. It is. It's just competitive dancing.
And see, for it to get to that, it has been hundreds of years. That's why there's all these new martial arts that are popping up.
Yeah. But I mean, you take sort of standard karate and you add in grappling from judo and all these stuff, and then you go, well, these are all quite, the good techniques, they're great techniques. They wouldn't exist otherwise. But then if you add in stuff from other things like Krav Maga, like really going in with elbows that are designed to do damage, like it's designed to make more damage with your knees and elbows and stuff than with your fists straight up.
Yeah,
like punch for punch.
What's your favourite film? Ip Man's one of my favourite.
All of them. Ip Man is very good, but for a really, really, really cool real world martial arts movie, The Raid.
The Raid.
Absolutely brutal. Krav Maga, and he just really goes for it, and it's super believable.
Glasgow. It wasn't Comic-Con. It was because that when the first film first came out, that was just a short film that wasn't meant to be that feature length, and then Glasgow to publicise it, and then they done Raid 2. Then, what's the other film I'm thinking of? With, in fact, forget it. I'm off on a mad tangent. You get me on films, and I'm away down rabbit holes. But Raid is one of my favourite films.
Raid's great fun.
Fantastic set of actors. Probably one of the best martial artists, probably still to this day, in that film. Like stunt doubles and all that. I watched the documentary on it. If you go watch the documentary on the Raid.
I mean, any Bruce Lee movie is obviously just.
I heard a Bruce Lee saying the other day. You want to hear it?
Sure.
So I love Bruce Lee for he's passionate, but he's all about the flow and the movement of the world and be one with it. And he said, be careful with the harsh words that you tell to yourself because your body doesn't know any different.
Yeah.
And oh man, what a wise man! Not just about fighting, but about taking the mind and the body and connecting them two up, and then actually telling people.
In every, especially Eastern martial art, there's always an element of spirituality to it. Not in the sort of sense, but in the sense of a disciplined mind and a disciplined body leads to disciplined emotions and a disciplined heart. In the sense that it can be very calming just to go through a kata and perfect your forms, and while you're doing that, you can often get into a meditative flow, and
100%.
And that's when you have an epiphany. That's when you go, that problem I had is actually not really complicated. It's actually the simplest problem in the world.
They say 5 minutes is usually all you need to do. As soon as you get into moving,
once you've got it,
once you start moving and separating, you have to separate the mind from the body for a short while in order to get that relevant piece. Apparently, you can't separate people from their body, so be careful.
You can. It's just frowned upon mostly.
We'll take that into Dungeons and Dragons, and we'll just do it when you're being allowed to. It's fair. Like I say, man, you brought all this, but what's with the scroll?
Yes. So this is slightly embarrassing. It's one of my more juvenile attempts back when I was 18, 19, 20, of building my own D&D world or my own fantasy world. It's just a bit of broom handle from a broken broom handle that I just sawed flat, and then a big long sheet of really thin card that I glued onto it and then drew on it.
That's brilliant, though. And
did some outlines and stuff. So that is a more juvenile one, more of a regional based scale, maybe. And just, little things like compasses and names. But some of these names I have just straight up ripped off from novels that I like. Like Rock Bell, like from Full Metal Alchemist, or
Grim. Grim. Is that Grim?
Grim
Peaks?
Yeah, Grim Peaks. Just different names from different novels, because I like them and they just sound cool.
But the thing is like it didn't exist until you gave it life. That's like my whole ethos.
A little bit.
Like these things, okay, they exist in novels, but until you put them into practice and bring them into another dimension as such.
Well, I mean, like everybody who's into this stuff is basically into Lord of the Rings. Like, whether you really, really love Lord of the Rings or you evaluate it with a critical eye, the granddaddy of world building has always been J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah.
And the history, the look at that for a beautiful map.
That's unreal, isn't it? That
whether you like Lord of the Rings or not, you're like, that's a cool looking map, and it's got this lovely script and all these different things. And
inside that guy's mind is just, he's like him
super
and
cool.
Stephen King.
Yeah,
are two people who are like, let me live in your mind for just a short period.
Yeah,
till we see what it was like.
Well, I mean, primarily he was a linguist, and he built these conlangs, these fake languages, and then he went, kind of want somewhere for these languages to live. So he built a world because he built languages.
I never knew that.
For the languages to inhabit, and he wrote The Hobbit as a story for his kids, and then he started writing Lord of the Rings, and then he sort of re-edited The Hobbit to fit in the Lord of the Rings mythos. But we've seen Tolkien, and then something a lot more modern from, say, this is from the Elder Scrolls, series of video games. So Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim. You can see similarities, like it's a fantasy map. You can see this idea of having script on a map, which just makes it feel older rather than a printed typeface.
I think when you like map worlds and everything has a map, whether it be writing a book, whether it be playing a computer game, whether it be even Grand Theft Auto has a map. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's maps there for stuff that.
So these are some drafts of the world that I am working on building. This is all my own work, made in a program called Incarnate.
Right.
So Inkarnate.
What happened to that island? Has that just been
that one? So that was originally part of that continent, but I've now changed it so that little island off to the side
doesn't exist.
It does exist, but it has only appeared in the last 4 years. It literally rose out of the sea.
You ever thought about making your own computer game?
Yes, but I'm terrible at programming and I don't understand how computers work. As far as I'm concerned, I press the button and little magic creatures in the wires run from the wall into the computer and make things happen.
Probably not far wrong there, man. Because that's what things like this transpire. And with another guest, Stephen, and he was on his Dungeons and Dragons as well, and he was telling us he's had some adventure in life and with that, and it's like, if you combine all these people together and put these. It's a game to be had.
Yeah, it's just a bit of fun. I mean, you have entire games based on making maps, and each turn someone adds something into the map, and then different things happen. But there's like entire basically board games for 4 or 5 people based on making a map.
Love it.
And then you've got for world building, you've got things that help you out. For example, Timothy Hickson has an excellent 3-part series so far. Called On Writing a World Building. He, on YouTube, goes by the name Hello Future Me. And he has 3 books, volume 1, 2, and 3. This is the first one. Fantastic advice in there for anybody wanting to world build or get into fantasy writing or fiction writing. You've got things like that.
I like that name, Hello Future Me. How do I come up with these things?
Yeah, it started as a joke, as like a time capsule. So it was literally Hello Future Me.
Right.
And it just became the moniker.
Now, Paddy, we've not got much time left, but I tell you,
True.
Lawnmower Man, you ever seen that film? It's coming.
Yes.
It is coming.
Lawnmower, was that the one with Pierce Brosnan?
I think so. Jude was the guy's name.
And the guy plugged himself into the computer and he became a digital AI and all the...
They wanted to make a world.
3D, CG, digital
very
world
Tron-y,
stuff.
but it's a good film, man. If you
I have seen it. I actually had it on DVD for a long time.
But they made the second one. Job was his name.
Yes, yeah, because he had sort of learning difficulties and stuff, and they used this digital world
became intelligent
to increase his.
If you've not seen the second one, he's back in it.
Yeah, it's very Flowers for Algernon.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, man.
Yeah,
it's very soft in the palate for a film, but it became one of my dopamine chasers because like the computer games, like I said,
strictly speaking, wasn't a great movie.
Nah, it was.
It's not great.
It's a bit like the film. I know I'm going to have tangent. Shocker. Yeah, which is another one which is at the same time. Well, Paddy, thank you very much for coming in, and thank you very much for sharing this world. We know it's not the last time we'll see you because we have a wee plan in working, and I've said too much already, but it's all underway. And guys, thank you very much for listening, and if you have any questions or anything, drop us a wee message, and we'll organise. Paddy's already said he's up for, if anybody's want to learn and you're in the local area, then reach out to the team, and we'll organise that, and I would like to come along as well. But here's the beauty of this. If it's inspired you, share it with somebody else. Don't forget to like and follow and share and subscribe and all that stuff. But most of all, be kind to yourself, man. There's 24 hours in the day. This just took us an hour to do all that. What are you doing with your 24 hours? That's just a suggestion. And there's no other day like today. So thank you very much, Paddy.
You're welcome. Thank you.